Ah! It's from a place called S&A Watches. Here they are, S&A Watches, and like I said, they're out of Austria. Here it is, the Coke bezel. The reason I went with this is because it's got the fat font serif text, and it's absolutely beautiful. You know, it's got that bright red as opposed to that deeper burgundy maroon red. You know, you can't get this bezel configuration from RSC anymore. This type of bezel with this text and everything, they no longer make. And this is the bezel that is original to my GMT from 2000-2001. If I were to buy a GMT back then as a Coke, it would have come with a bezel like this. So what you're seeing right now is me trying to change the bezel for the first time. And clearly I suck at it, so let's try this again now that I'm a pro. Ah! Alright, it worked, I got it, but that was precarious.
The following was performed by a professional. Do not try this at home.
And guys, don't forget to subscribe, okay? Smash that like button. Alright, boys and girls, so what you're gonna need, obviously, is the watch. You're gonna need a replacement bezel. I'm going to be putting in the all black today. And most importantly, you're going to need some sort of blunt, something that you can pry the bezel off with. Something flat and blunt. And this here is on the end of a Swiss Army knife. And I think it's the bottle opener. And this is actually a Phillips head screwdriver at the end of it here. So before you go ahead and start poking away at your watch, you need to cover the end of that Phillips head screwdriver with tape. Now, I would recommend the thickest tape possible, but you know, packaging tape like this is fine. Okay, so you get a little piece of tape and just cover that bad boy up. Okay, cover it up like so, because you don't want the metal scratching the metal of your watch. Okay, so there's the screwdriver tool, and quite simply and quite crudely, we're just gonna get the screwdriver under there, and I like to put this finger over the top of the bezel there so it doesn't go flying. That was a mistake I made the first time around, and just wedge it in there. Okay, now even that was a little bit too aggressive there at the end, the way it popped in, but whatever, it happens. I had my finger on it so the spring inside didn't go flying. When you remove the bezel, right, the insert is in the actual bezel here. Okay, and then if you can see, there's a metal ring right here. Okay, you can remove it. You can remove it like so. It's very, very flimsy, and I would imagine it's easy to bend this thing, so I would be careful. Even smaller than that is the little click spring. And again, I'm going to show you guys with better images right now on your screen. You're looking at it. And it's important that that spring doesn't come out. Yes, you can put it back, but it's so easy to lose this spring, and you know, the thought of it like going down the side of my cabinets here and behind my desk, it would be a nightmare to find. So keeping it intact is the simplest way to go about this. Now, my least favorite part of this whole process is popping the insert out of the actual bezel. And the reason I hate this so much is because it just feels so cavemanish. You know, it's like, I feel like I'm gonna damage the aluminum, but that's the only way to do it. So, you know, your technique gets better over time, but at the end of the day, you're just kind of pushing on the inside of it, and it pops out, okay? A very audible and obvious click, you know? And that was a pretty clean one, I gotta admit. So, what I like to do is, instead of putting the new insert in there now, I like to put this part on the watch first. That way I know when the spring is seated correctly. And again, I'm sorry that it's kind of hard to see this, but putting the bezel on there like that, okay, around the outside, and I'm just simply putting pressure on it until I hear that pop, okay? That pop means it's on, but give it a couple twists to get the spring, because right now it's very tough. There, that second pop was the spring popping into the grooves of the bezel. And now, wait. Now you got the smooth turning. Okay? And now, everything here is stable, you're good to go. Now you can take your insert, okay, and pop it in. Now this is the part of the process that alignment comes into play, because people say, oh, the quality control of this Seiko or whatever, you know, the bezel is not aligned correctly. You know, that's a simple error, and I'm sure it can be fixed on any watch, like it can be fixed on this GMT. And if you put it in right the first time, you won't have that problem. So essentially, I'm just placing it on where the bezel goes, and again, just applying pressure. I'm looking carefully to see that it lines up. There, you get that click, okay? Again, it's kind of, you know, hit and miss. You really have to like caveman your way through this. But there should be that first click, and then usually there's a part of the bezel that's still sticking out, but I think it all went in one shot this time. And then, yeah, there you go. You got the new bezel. And to be honest with you, it's pretty easy, okay? I was very nervous doing this for the first time, but yeah, it's simple, it's easy. And once you know how to do it, you know, you can change into the Coke bezel when you're wearing your Jordan 1s, you know, you can change into the Pepsi on July 4th, you know, you can have fun, and you don't need to bring it to your AD or RSC every single time you want the bezel changed. Yeah, there you go, guys. Have fun, and until next time, peace out.